Alright, everyone. Just sharing out the levels where we are after the Thursday sell-off and a Friday bounce, and just see what we can expect for next week. As I stated above in the stack, that we have major earnings coming up, and we don't know what's going to be the situation with the Middle East in the coming days. So, just from purely from technical and levels perspective. This is US 500, and while the drop was happening on Thursday, I was in my Discord with my members, and we were looking at 49.20, which is this area to be where the bounce can happen, simply because of the huge demand zone, which is right here, right? And the bounce did happen, and next day we saw a flat open for SPX, right, and testing back to 5018, somewhere around that area, right. So that demand did came into the play, and all day Friday what we saw was a retracement back to 61% here on US 500. And of course, since this action happened over the after the session overnight, you know SPX did not, of course, has this drop, right? That's a little different. So this retraced 61%, and SPX came down just from where it opened as flat and then started dropping, closing the gap at 4980 and dropping a little bit lower to 4960, 4955, and other levels which I shared in my Substack, and then bounced a little, right? So what I tried to explain in the video on Thursday, and on some of my posts on Friday, was that they both went out of sync in terms of the count, because of course we had a 90-point sell off, or 80-90 point of sell off, when the session was closed, and then a bounce. So this whole thing was missing on the SPX chart. And while my retracement expectation was that it'll come down to retrace this move that it made overnight, SPX will just make this as this retracement as an continued drop, right? Which is what we saw, right? So again, this demand held, bounce happened, 61% retracement, and that's where it closed. My overall expectation is that this bounce and was really a good bounce from the demand zone, and this was a retracement, not going for the next leg, right? So which made me go long on Friday for a barely minimum expectation that we'll do a C leg from here for 100% extension, right? So we have this as an A, B, and C. Now overall, what I'm marking is just merely a wave 4 for now, which I can simply count from here. This was wave 1. Sorry, wave 2. I'll just correct that. Wave 3, 4, and a 5 again, right? So wave 1 is here. Right, so this is what I was looking at, that we'll get an ABC bounce for a wave 4, and we'll see what happens in this area again. And if this is where it slows and cannot go up, probably another shot for next couple of days. So we closed at around 4965, and from here it's about another 90 points jump. So earnings for Tesla come in Tuesday after the close. So, in my opinion, if this is holding on Monday for 962, we might just get up, to 50.49 by Tuesday, and then the decline might start again, right, for the next 2 to 3 days. This is the expectation, but of course things have been moving fast, so we'll see how soon this move can be accomplished, and where we go from there. Alternatively, if things gets bearish, which to begin the week with, if something happens again with Israel Iran tonight, or anytime on Monday or something like that, yeah, so then again, below we have this demand, so it'll have to kind of push through, and come down to the lower levels here like 48.40 or something like that, right? So, and again a bigger level here. But again, my expectation is not that. I'm looking at this bounce to happen at 5049 or 5040, whatever closer number there would be, and then there could be an expectation for the next leg down, and I'll update you about that. Now, just this was one of the factors from the demand zone perspective, and when I'm looking at a weekly 21 EMA moving average as well, you see it's right at the place where the bounce happened. And if I look at SPX, it just barely tested that right now, right? So weekly 21 EMA is still in the play, and that's where I'm expecting a bounce here as well, a big level, like I said before, right? And this should create a bounce at least towards that 5040 number, or 5049, 5050 number that I shared, right? So that's one part. And now looking at QQQ, again, a big level here. Let's just go down to the daily. If you see a big level here for support, right? It just dropped into it. My expectation was that this area will hold where this demand is, but that was like 5020. Oh, sorry, 4420, and now it just pierced through and came to this one again. Another expectation why indexes should bounce, right? And we'll see if the bounce is to 420 or is it a weak bounce, where it just goes to like 418 or something like that, or stronger bounce to 425, right? So a lot of tech earnings, and that's going to drive a lot of momentum on this one, and let's see what happens. But expectation is bounce here, go towards 420, 425, and then from there we will see if that's going to be a partial retracement to go even further up, something like this, or we'll have another leg down like this, right? So something that we will figure out as we see the quality of the bounce from the support. So another reason why I'm looking at bounce in the indexes, just because it came to the right level of support here now, right? And then let's look at DIA. DIA was a little bit, above from the demand zone that we expected. Hasn't still reached 373. Was holding quite strongly on Friday as well. Again, I think this was like a wave for bounce, and this may, continue a little bit like this, and then come down slowly along with other indices, right? So that's my expectation for this to come in back into the demand zone after a bounce. It was quite. It was along with IWM. These were the two indices which stayed green on a Friday, so they could be a little slower for the next 2 days while SPX and QQQ catch up a bit, right? And they all come together down to come to the demand zone, complete the five waves, and then next move up can happen, which can be towards 390, 392, right? So that's DIA, and similarly IWM. I've been sharing this chart for quite a while, and it has tracked very well. We came down to around 191, and we might just have one more leg down to come to exactly to 190, the area that we expected. And once this happens, an extreme bounce is possible for the wave B, and then finally coming down for wave C, right? So, and this is now an expectation across indices. Like, so going back to, let's say, SPX, so this has come deep, right? Deeper than 50-50 and all. And as I explained in the last video, my expectation is that whenever this is done, right, whether it's done here or whether it makes another small low, right, and bounces from like 49.20, the number that US 500 saw as well, and goes up, right, towards 51.75. there would be another decline, possibly to test the breakout area of 4800, right? The breakout area from the previous all-time high. So if I just kind of set it right here, oh god, okay, let's mark it. All right, right here, right? So this is potentially a good breakout retest kind of pattern. This can keep on going for a couple of months, and like I said, bottom here soon, move up towards 5175, and if it wants to do a little higher, potentially can do a little higher as well, like 5220, 5200, then drop back again for wave C, right? So this will be my expectation for coming few weeks. I mean, this is like a little longer time frame structure, right? So I was just showing what I had for IWM, how it applies here for the SPX, and probably similar for QQQ as well, where once things bottom, we have a big spike move up, go back here to 442, and then we just kind of drip back here, right? So this will be how I will be looking at the cues for now. Lot of still in the process. Watching all the Mag 7 stocks and what is happening across the indexes, but this is very preliminary, right? So we are in a first leg down after a long move, which has started back in let's say October of 2022, right? So this is, I think, a major drop after that. Has this marked the top for the indexes, and this won't just stop it here and will come down more? Maybe, maybe not, but I'm really not thinking about that one right now, because first I want to see how the first leg completes and what a bounce looks like, right? And I want to trade the bounce, certainly, and then based on how it gets resistance up in the area and the supply zones, then take the shorts over there, right? I'm not shorting right here where it's in the demand and already 5% down from the 5-6% down from the top. But again, trade the bounce, short the supply, let it come down for the C leg or a presumed C leg. But if that becomes something bigger than like a 3 or something like that, that's something we will see at that point of time. But that's not currently what I'm working on. Current thoughts are just for the bounce and then settle the supply, right? So that kind of sums up my overall thoughts for indexes, and I wish you good luck for next week. Thank you.